Hello everyone, I'm Caleb, and this is Josh, and we're here with Backseat Sports, and today we will be covering what should the Celtics do after receiving that #1 pick this week.
So far what the scouts are saying is that Markelle Fultz is the favorite the Celtics to select this year in the draft. It's an interesting pick because he was at Washington, but they did not make the tournament, which might be his biggest flaw on his resume.
Yeah, only 9 wins in the season when 22 losses does not look good. If you're the #1 player, that does leave some questions.
It's an issue when you go 2-16 in the Pac-12, which isn't a perennially phenomenal conference, especially near the bottom of the conference. So you're going 2-16 and you're supposed to be the best player in college basketball. That's definitely his biggest flaw coming out of college.
His stats are all there though, and that's why the scouts are really on him. He has 23.2 points a game. He shoots at 47.6%, almost 42% from three-point range, almost 6 rebounds, and almost 6 assists. He is a great player, and you can see all the talent he has. He's an athletic 6'5" body, and he flies on the court. He can do it all.
Yeah, as you guys are seeing in these highlights, he absolutely lights up the arena. Every time he's on the court, he can play for the team. He's a team player, all-around stud, and that's why NBA scouts love him. The thing is, the Celtics have other options out there. Not only that, they have another guy from UCLA.
Lonzo Ball. Well, everybody's heard about this guy, and maybe his dad too. They made it to the Sweet 16 this year. The big thing about him is his court vision, averaging almost 8 assists a game. Only 15 points, but he shoots at 55% from field goal, so he takes smart shots. While his shot is kind of funky, as you're going to see in some highlights, he kind of pulls the ball all the way around. Lonzo Ball is a great player. People want him for his passing skills, but the thing is, the Celtics, they already have a great point guard. If you haven't heard of a guy named Isaiah Thomas.
Yep.
The
IT time, baby.
Yeah.
So Lonzo Ball's size and his availability to play other positions is definitely an issue for the Celtics. Whereas for Markelle Fultz, there's definitely some flexibility there for what position he could play. Whether he plays a 2, potentially a 3, he would be undersized. But he definitely has more flexibility than Lonzo Ball provides.
Now, there is some other guys floating around too besides Markelle Fultz and Lonzo Ball. Jason Tatum from Duke and Josh Jackson from KU. As you can see, this is just a really guard-heavy draft. And so for the Celtics to pick that, they would be looking toward the future. They have a really young team anyway. Now, this brings us to the second option. Should they trade the pick?
This has had a lot of hype in the media lately because the media loves those hot takes. Colin Cowherd's been calling out the Celtics. If you guys haven't seen it, we can pop it up right here.
Championship. Colin, do you agree with Paul Pierce?
100%. Now, Danny Ainge is considered smart guy, right? I mean, we think of him as pretty successful.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Last 22 players drafted, 0 All-Stars, a lot of whiffs, several guys out of the league. Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart are his hits.
He has just been pushing the Celtics need to trade this pick to win right now. And it kind of puzzles me a little bit, specifically for 2 reasons. One, for what at the state of the NBA right now isn't exactly a win now for the Celtics situation potentially. And there's a lot to be had for looking towards the future and planning for that future team that they want to have.
LeBron James at his peak in his career, but it's getting toward the end of his peak. He is getting older. There will be a cutoff eventually. He's been in the league since 2003-2004 season. And Golden State Warriors, that's just 2 big juggernauts, and it's going to be very hard to come out the East, let alone be the champion.
From the Celtics' perspective, they're looking at the future, and they have the Nets pick this year and the Nets pick next year. That is hard to freaking say. So they have 2 potential top 3 picks. They have the first pick this year, and what they could see as potentially another #1 pick next year. They could this year take Markelle Fultz, and then next year trade for that guy that they need. And maybe that's their chance to be that unbelievably great team. The other factor that comes into play is that Gordon Hayward is a free agent this summer.
Yes.
And could be trying to meet up with his college coach and make a run in the NBA.
Yeah, that BUTLER connection. Very, very true. So there's a ton of factors for the Celtics this year, and there's a lot of fun things that play into it. Should they take that all-star now in Jimmy Bulter or Paul George? Because the Celtics do need a scorer. I think that is one thing that they definitely need. Could also get better on the defensive side, but offensively is the big issue for them. They need a guy who can score 25 points a night besides Isaiah Thomas and has that threat, because they have a ton of great two-way players around them, but they need someone who has that extra edge at scoring.
So that brings up the dilemma. Do you trade for Butler? Do you trade for George? Or where do you go from here? A lot of it hinges on how much they love Markelle Fultz. What chance do they think they have at getting Gordon Hayward this summer? And how confident are they that the Nets are going to suck next year?
Yes, those are definitely the three things. And the next is, do they believe that they can win now? How far, can they go without any of these big guys? And then, hey, we could just build some great draft talent around that.
Yep.
All right, guys, we'd love to hear what you have to say down below in the comments description. What should the Celtics do? Who's your favorite team, and who should they pick in the draft as well? I'm Caleb. This is Josh. We have been Backseat Sports, and we'll see you next video. Hard for to say. He might have a chance against MJ.
Oh, he might have a chance. Is Allen Iverson, man. He is the man of many talents. Led the Sixers to a finals.
We're talking about practice.